Hey guys, we're Jaz and Jon. We're here back with Nerd Tasting for the second episode. Of course, last time we did Soylent. You should go check that out on our channel. But today we decided to do a trio of different tastings, all for the same product. You may or may not have heard of it. It's from a little show called Star Trek, primarily Star Trek Deep Space Nine, and it is Klingon coffee or Raktajino. We're going to start with a recipe that actually calls for enough to make 14 cups, but it was easier to do this way than try to break those measurements down, as you'll see in a moment. This here is our nearly 2 cups worth of what we'll call them mixed grounds, a Raktajino mix.
It calls for non-dairy creamer powder. Neither one of us likes that, so we're not going to use that. So that'll be a little bit different than the recipe that we found.
Half and half, baby.
Exactly. But it also calls for a cup of sugar, a half a cup of unsweetened cocoa, which we've got right here
from our local store.
It also calls for 6 tablespoons of instant coffee because we're making kind of like the hot chocolate mixes. So,
yeah, like just for example, I would never personally drink instant coffee. However, because the whole idea of this specific recipe of Raktajino and one of the others is that you can make this mix, seal it up in a container sort of like this, maybe an old one of these, and keep it.
Yeah.
And then you can just make
it
periodically when you want, which is really cool. But of course, you have to have instant coffee to pull that off.
Exactly. And the thing about this is you put the sugar and everything in here, half a teaspoon of allspice and cinnamon, which we've got here too.
Here and here.
I'm sure you can just do it to taste. This is the first time that we're making it, so we don't know what the taste is.
So it might be terrible.
Exactly. But it smells really good.
It does,
and if you look at it, we've mixed it together. So what we did was we put all of the dry ingredients in together and kind of mixed it so that it would be, full consistency when we actually put it in our cups. We're boiling water right now, so we're just waiting on the water so that we can try this out. But it smells really good. It doesn't even smell like coffee, really. It smells more like hot chocolate.
Yeah, like a chocolate mix of some kind. This doesn't even have any chocolate. It has cocoa powder, but not...
Yeah, it smells more chocolatey than coffee, but we put a fair amount, 6 tablespoons. So
why don't we go ahead and figure out how much these... So the only thing the ingredients don't seem to call for, and we'll just kind of let you know how it goes with us, is how much of the mix you put in your mug.
It does.
It sort of does, yeah.
It says 3 teaspoons.
Oh, it does? Oh, 2 3/4 cups.
Yeah.
I must not have copied that part when I was looking at the...
John got the ingredients, so he had all of that part. But I have the instructions, and on the instructions, basically, we're going to use 3 teaspoons of this to a 3/4 cup.
So let's do...
So this spoon we have here is a teaspoon.
1. I'm just going to do 3. I'm not going to go crazy. And I'll let you know if I think it's too weak. And I'm not perfectly measuring with full cups. I'm just kind of winging it. Which is sort of, I think, the right way to do things.
And I think you're pretty much going to do that when you try it yourself. You're going to kind of scoop it as
maybe
is.
Add a little, and then the next time maybe you change.
We have, as we said earlier, 2 other recipes for Raktajinos to try
and compare
to see which one is the best one. This one is probably the most extensive one, more things to do. The second one doesn't have quite as much stuff in it, and the last one doesn't have as much either, and it's an iced recipe, so that's kind of cool.
I thought would be good for summer.
This one also uses instant coffee, but if you look at the instant coffee, it's not quite
It comes in pretty large bits.
Exactly.
And this ingredients specifically say to crush it into a powder, so
exactly.
That's what we're doing with the spoon.
But we're trying to get it down. We're not going to get it as fine as, but it is kind of crushed a little bit. And this recipe doesn't use quite as much coffee as the other one. So this one's more of a flavor of coffee than the other one. And this one is just called the claw version. So,
that's KLAH.
So I think, what do you think?
That's probably good enough for the most part.
I think we got it pretty good.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah. All right, so then we're also putting in 3/8 of a teaspoon
of cinnamon.
Cinnamon.
Sorry, I have 8, so I'll put 3 of those in. Cinnamon's very strong. That's the cinnamon, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of.
It makes sense that we would.
A little bit goes a very long way.
Yeah, those people who did the cinnamon challenge, I don't know how they did that. Yeah.
I mean, those people, yeah. The cinnamon challenge, folks. Not morons at all.
We also need to put in a half a cup of dark cocoa. Now,
which is what I'm going to use here.
So you're going to use that, okay?
But we're actually going to put a half a cup and then 2 tablespoons because. So here's the problem. This specific ingredient list calls for, this specific recipe calls for 2 tablespoons of sweet ground chocolate. And if you knew what that was when I said it, then well, kudos to you, but I didn't. The grocery store by my house and the grocery store by the house at the studio, neither one of them carry it. So we kind of had to improvise. And because it calls for regular dark cocoa, not sweet cocoa, we just got a dark cocoa mix, like that you would make a glass of hot chocolate with, basically. So it's a chocolate cocoa, chocolate flavor, like it's got added flavor, and it's sweet. And we're just going to use that for both of those things. So this isn't going to be perfect, but, you know, it's the best we could really do, and I'm sorry about that. But when you make yours, just remember that it calls for 2 tablespoons of sweet ground chocolate.
Oh, wow. One thing isn't half a cup.
So I think it's 2. You want to open that one?
Yeah. I think one of these packets is just a quarter cup. So we're going to probably need one more packet.
No, it should be a half a cup. 2 quarters makes a half.
Well, it's a half a cup and 2
Oh, yeah. We'll need it. Yeah, we'll need it for the tablespoon.
Yep, that's it. That's about a half a cup.
Perfect.
Blam. And what I'm doing that we learned from the first recipe is mixing it as we go along.
Yeah, the last time we just poured all the ingredients into one thing, and then it was really kind of difficult to get in there. And
you can't even really see anything else we put in here but the
cocoa. Mix, yeah. Well, and pictures of the ground chocolate look basically like cocoa. Some of them are a little thicker kind of chunks, but most of it really just looked like this. So I figure it's probably close enough.
Yeah.
But like I said, it's not going to be perfect.
The recipes that we found basically look like chefs that are really nerdy, and they make these. So we don't have all of the great ingredients that they have. And then a pinch of nutmeg. I'm not sure what a pinch is.
Just literally, it's a pinch, just like a dash kind of thing. You don't want a lot.
So a pinch of nutmeg.
Nutmeg is also strong.
So this one is more of a cocoa recipe, whereas this one, and you can see kind of the color differences.
Yeah, this is quite dark and comparatively, and this is pale, like a cocoa.
Exactly.
So
this one's like more of the coffee recipe.
Mm-hmm. This seems a little weaker, more like a dessert beverage.
Exactly. And I feel like I'm gonna probably like this one more than I like this one. Our water is finally ready. Yay. And we've got both of our different recipes. This is the House of Casera. And if you look at the differences, again, like we said, this one is more coffee based and this one is more chocolate based. And this is the claw version. So we have them in 2 different cups, and then we'll be trying the iced one later. But let's go ahead and you want to do the Casera version?
Yeah, that's my green cup.
Yep. That's your Yoda.
Oops, come on, open. That's on me.
Alright, and then mine.
This one?
Yep. Alrighty. And we did kind of a 3/4 cup because that's what the recipe called for. So we're going to stir that up.
It's going to be a little hot, so maybe we go ahead and pour the others.
And then we also need to put in the half and half. Because the Casera version calls for creamer. The other one does not.
And of course, creamer is often a personal choice, so you're going to put, like, the recipe will tell you how much creamer, and it'll tell you to do powdered, but again, neither of us are okay with powdered creamer. But it's gonna tell you how much to use. Obviously, it's coffee, basically, so creamer to taste, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you don't like a lot of creamer, don't put a lot of creamer. If you don't like any creamer, I generally drink my coffee black. I don't put cream in my coffee, I put it only in my tea.
So do you want to taste yours without?
Yeah, you want to
and
splash?
I'll do some,
Yeah. Look you up here.
That's
That's
good.
probably enough. I'll try mine black. But you want me to go ahead and pour for the others? Because it's going to be awfully hot to start sipping on right now.
Oh, you mean pour?
Yeah, go ahead and get them ready.
Yeah, so we'll go ahead and put some in the other one.
I don't know if I have that right. It just smells like
Here's
hot
my
chocolate,
clock.
if I'm being honest with you.
Yeah, it probably does. Except for with water, because I always do my hot chocolate with milk.
It depends on the kind of instant you get, some call for different things.
I always do it. Alright, so this is the claw version.
And that's the
And this is the House of Casera. And when you look at them, you can tell the difference. What's funny is it's flip-flopped in the cup because I put creamer in mine. So the Casera version
looks lighter now.
Exactly.
Where's our marshmallows? We don't have Klingon marshmallows?
And because we're drinking Raktajino's, kapla.
Kapla.
It's actually not bad. I'm not very good with hot stuff.
It is a lot sweeter. Whew. It is very, very sweet. It's a little too sweet for me. And I don't love hot chocolate. I mean, it's okay, but I drink my coffees black or as little espresso shots. So really, really bitter generally. This is extremely sweet, which worries me about the hot chocolate-ish version. But it's not bad. The flavor's fine.
It's not bad. The flavor's pretty good.
Especially considering we used just kind of, Nescafe instant coffee.
Yeah, we did.
Our grocery store didn't have a lot of options, and
we were kind of concerned about the instant coffee because neither one of us has really done instant coffee either. My grandmother used to swear by Sanka when she came to visit. We had to get Sanka, but this is not bad. Like, I'm not a coffee drinker, but I could probably drink this.
I can drink it. It's not. I wouldn't call it good, but I certainly wouldn't call it bad. I've had bad before. That's not.
Yeah,
bad.
No, it's not bad. Like, I actually probably like it. I wouldn't drink it all the time just because I'm not a coffee drinker, but this is not bad. It's a little hot. I probably should have let it cool down a little bit longer.
It is piping hot. I don't think I'm going to be able to taste the next one.
But that's not bad. So that is the House of Casera version. That's what this one is. Now I'm going to switch to my other mug. Mainly
the claw version.
The claw version. And again, kapla.
Kapla. That is extremely delicious.
That's actually really good.
But it just tastes like hot chocolate.
I definitely like the claw version. This one is all right. It's not awful. Yeah, I was expecting it to be awful, actually. So I'm surprised that it wasn't. But I'm excited to try the iced coffee and see what that's like.
Okay, so for our next Raktajino and our final Raktajino, currently, of course, the claw version, which is more like a hot cocoa, is our agreed upon favorite. But it's not a lot of coffee, so not a lot of caffeine, so keep that in mind. So now we have to make an iced coffee because it's summertime. So you're going to want iced coffee. So since we already have the instant, even though this is not what I would normally recommend, we're going to go ahead and do instant coffee here as well. The ingredients just call for coffee. So you could use whatever is your preferred blend for your iced coffee drink.
Now the difference between, I think, regular iced coffee is this one calls for vanilla. I'm not sure if that's your typical thing that you would do in iced coffee.
It depends on what kind of iced coffee.
I typically, like I said, I don't drink coffee, but this one is iced coffee.
That's a lot.
One drink takes all of this of vanilla. We only bought one, so what we're probably going to do is half it.
I kind of went back and forth to
but it smells really good. I love vanilla. That's my favorite part about making anything chocolatey, like a brownie or anything like that. The vanilla. Once you put that in, it smells so good. All right, I think it might be all the way mixed.
I have a feeling this is going to be terrible. You want cream?
It probably is. I'm probably going to like the claw version the best because that's richer. It's more chocolate. And I'm not like you, so you can put some more in that bad boy.
Let me see the color. Yeah, and I have a feeling this is going to be exactly the color you want.
What, this one or yours?
No, yours.
Okay.
All right, so we have to pour into glasses and attempt not to make a ridiculous mess.
And we thought it was going to take a little bit longer to cool off, but we put in just the right amount of ice that as soon as we poured it in there, it's pretty good. John's is a little bit darker than mine, which is not normal, but well, because he put in less creamer. I like a lot of creamer in my coffee. Both of ours look like a nice little color. They look pretty good. So we haven't tasted it yet.
I was thinking instead of a traditional Klingon kaplach here, we should be much more insulting and say patak!
Patak! Since we made it nicely. It's not too bad.
It's not very sweet, which
I put more sugar in
Oh,
mine.
yes. Yeah. So my wife gets iced coffees a lot.
Really?
And this just tastes like that. Like, it tastes fine. I mean, it tastes like a professional coffee.
Yeah, and
it's not bad.
We didn't put in quite as much vanilla as the recipe calls. I think we just split the 1 ounce bottle because we didn't realize, so it was just a half an ounce in each of ours. But it still has a good vanilla flavor.
I could see including the rest of that vanilla, though. adding just a little bit to it.
I'm not a big fan of iced coffees, I think. This is not awful, but I think I still like the claw version.
Yeah, that's definitely the best as far as flavor goes.
Exactly.
That's the best version.
It probably is not the best Klingon drink because Klingons like the bitterness. They like the things that are going to be difficult and for a warrior. So it's probably not the best warrior drink. I think the warrior one is probably the House of Casera.
Yes, and I can give this quite the compliment because it's the only one that didn't burn my tongue.
Exactly.
I'm surprised I can even taste this. We went a little too quickly before I burned the crap out of my tongue.
I didn't drink mine quite that fast because I don't like burning my tongue, but I get it. I do feel it a little bit. But this one is not so bad. This one looks like, every other iced coffee that I've ever seen that people get.
It's not a bad drink, yeah.
Yeah, it's not awful. And I put a little bit more sugar in mine than you put in yours. And it's a little sweet. I probably put too much. I don't get coffee that often.
Mine's not very sweet.
I probably should have done a little bit like yours. But the creamer is perfect on this. It's just a little sweet. That's all. But those are our 3 Raktajinos. House of Casera, Claw version, and iced Klingon coffee. And my favorite is the Claw version. I think that's yours.
100% agree.
But we're going to put the recipes, the actual recipes as is, in the list, and as you can hear that we've talked about the changes we made. So if you try something different or if you tweak it a little bit, go ahead and post it in the comments.
Yeah, let us know what you find works. That's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
So if you find something that you think works better than what we did, though you can't taste ours to know, but if you find something that you substitute that really does well, please include it in the comments. Also, don't forget to like all of our videos. You can click the subscribe button. It's going to be somewhere. There's going to be other videos you can watch of ours. And here's the big thing. The next episode of Nerd Tasting will be coming up with butterbeer soda from the Flying Cauldron, which is a brand, apparently. But it's going to be here tomorrow, so we'll record that soon. And I'm way more excited about that than Raktajino, even though I'm super excited about
the Raktajinos were pretty cool, but I'm excited about trying the butterbeer. So that's going to be great.
It'll be a simpler episode. Just bottles of butterbeer soda.
Exactly. So thanks for watching.
Join us next time.
Whispered repetition. Catchphrase.